You're on CYInterview.
I'm Chris Shandek. Featured columnist Jay Bilstein is with me today on CYInterview. We welcome on artist Janae Longo. Ms. Longo currently stars as Adele in Legendary Divas at the Tropicana Hotel and Casino on the Las Vegas Strip. Janae, thanks so much for being with us on CYInterview this morning. How are you?
I'm doing very well, and it's my pleasure.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I want to start off, before we get into the stuff of Legendary Divas, just simply, when did you know that you wanted to become a performer?
That started off probably at the age of 12, very young. Or do you mean Adele performer? Performer in general? Because I've been singing.
Yeah, just a performer in general, like a performing artist, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, it was a very young age, for sure. Starting off with, like, dance lessons, you know, the standard. My brothers played sports, I did dance, and then community theater. Community theater led to choir and, you know, high school and whatnot. And when I went to college, I didn't actually want to go to college. I wanted to go to Nashville and be a singer, and then my parents were like, you're going to be a music teacher and have your summers off and a 401k, and you will like it. And then I actually transferred, auditions, got into the Bachelor of Fine Arts program, and graduated with that. So, and I've been performing professionally ever since. So fingers crossed, you know.
Sure. So being a tribute artist of Adele, when did you know that you could sing her songs and beat her on stage?
Ever since she released her first album, I resonated with her. Our voices are both mezzo-sopranos. We both have a bit of raspiness. Just her tones and her emotional rawness with her songwriting. I've always admired songwriters. And so I've just kind of, as the whole world has, kind of grown up with her, listening to her albums and singing her songs. So when I worked with Carnival Cruise Lines for 14 years, and there were certain songs that were in our shows. So really from there, and you know, learning her inflections and learning all the detail-oriented things about how she performs them is kind of where it started. And then when I came out to Vegas, you know, that then blossomed into this. So.
So just speaking about that quickly, you mentioned you have a very long career performing on cruise ships, I believe more than a decade. How would you describe performing on a cruise ship compared to performing on a Las Vegas stage? Is there anything different about it?
Professionally, it's very similar. This is a union. This is within the union, so ships are not considered union. The stage is much bigger. It's an honor to be on the old Follies Bergère stage. That is a pretty special experience. The history that the Tropicana has is pretty amazing. And the difference is, you know, those rocky nights on a ship, you're kind of balancing on stage. We're here, we're pretty much solid. We're moving, but it's because of our own accord, not because the hotel's moving.
I hear you. Jay? You know, Janae, let's roll in the deep for a moment here. You know, you are a talented artist in your own right. However, you are portraying another talented artist and one who is extraordinarily famous. First of all, on a personal level, do you ever find that people you know somehow begin relating to you as Adele, like they kind of forget for a moment, like, you're Janae, you're not Adele, but you're so convincing as Adele that they kind of start dealing with you that way?
My family is in town presently, and my mother pretty much keeps me grounded, so no, that does not happen.
Well, that is the job of mothers, yes. Yeah, I could imagine that.
Keep grounded. I have heard of, you know, certain tribute artists really take to the artist they're portraying. But I myself will pretty much keep my Adele separate, fake Adele, separate from myself. But no, as it's a fairly new experience, and I'm fairly new to this, I have not had that experience yet.
Yeah, but you did mention. I mean, there are. I think it's a lot, Janae, like actors, right? There are some actors who are out there deeply immersed in the method. Now, I remember with Daniel Day-Lewis, for example, with some of his roles. I mean, and he's considered one of the great actors of our time. Like, he would not come out of character. I've read. I don't know if that's true. I haven't been on any sets with him, but he wouldn't come out of character in his portrayals. And so what you're saying is you're on stage, you're Adele, there you are, bang. But when you come off stage, it's back to being Janae, and you don't have this kind of baggage. And I don't say that in a negative way, but you don't have the baggage of, like, wait a minute, who am I? And people treating you differently.
No, I pretty much, as I said, can keep that separate, although I do love Daniel Day-Lewis. He is fabulous. And, when I did the audition for Adele with Legends in Concert, it did happen quite fast. So in that respect, I did sort of have a Adele marathon weekend to kind of really immerse myself. In that respect, I did, try to learn her accent and learn her inflections and in training that and then as an actor. But now that we're kind of getting into the flow of everything, yes. As soon as I walk on stage, absolutely. As soon as I leave the stage, Janae from Buffalo is back there.
Well, it's interesting. Adele has, certain songs. The one that comes to mind most is Someone Like You, who I would say probably scrapes all the internal surfaces of the soul, right? This is a song that I would have to imagine asks for the singer to reach very deeply, to go to some emotional place. How do you do that so that it's as convincing as it is?
As human beings, as we all have different life experiences that have molded us and shaped us into the individuals that we are. And even last night singing it, having my family out in the audience, it's the first time they've ever seen me perform in Vegas as a headliner, and it was emotional seeing them out there watching. And so that affects you, and you try not to let it affect you. But I'm pulling, Someone Like You, especially because we close with that, I pulled from my life experiences, my life breakups, my life, the same way when she wrote it. She wrote that whole album based on a relationship. So yes, when I sing Someone Like You, I'm definitely pulling from a very specific person and a time in my life.
So that must be very challenging, because, like you said, this is her work based on her life.
Yeah.
And you have to find a way to create some kind of emotional nexus, an emotional connection to where she is in the music based on where you've been in your own life. And that must be challenging, no?
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. And especially to be in the moment and to really connect with the audience is another level. But her music does that in general. Like everyone, I challenge anyone in the world to listen to all of her albums and not find a song that you can, just tears your heart out, tears those heartstrings, and doesn't give you a memory of an experience that you had, because we are all just humans that have experienced love and experienced loss. So it is challenging. Last night it was hard. And, even she as a songwriter, she's like, I don't do certain songs. Like, if it's on the album, it's there for a reason, because I did it once, and I don't do it live again because it's too hard to emotionally do that every night. You know, we'd all be in tears on stage. But
listen, I remember the first time.
Very difficult.
You know, you say you'd be on tears on stage. Now you're performing it. I remember the first time I heard someone like you. Gee, it's got to be over 10 years ago, longer than 10 years, I guess, back to 2011. And I literally had to pull my. Thank God I wasn't driving on a highway.
No.
I'm not ashamed to say this. I pulled my car over onto a side street, and I'm like,
No.
you know, I mean, I started feeling tears coming up in my eyes. I'm like, what is this?
No, it affects you. She is so emotionally vulnerable, and the fact that what she puts into her songs and how she writes them and the collaboration she's doing with other artists is really quite remarkable. And you know, I have so much respect for her in that respect. So, and I agree with you. There are moments where I have to literally pull over. Alan Jackson, Remember When, that song specifically, because I'm a huge country music lover, I literally pull over because it just brings me to tears. I'm like, I cannot be driving right now. It's not safe.
Yeah, no fooling. No fooling.
Yeah.
I believe me, I've lived that. But that brings me inexorably to the next question, right? Adele, scheduled to be in Las Vegas, residency and all this, then a delay and so forth. First of all, what do you make of all that? And second of all, does that have some kind of impact on you performing as a tribute artist to Adele?
In fairness, I think the only way it would affect me is we have offered anyone who has Adele tickets to come. You get a free ticket to Legends in concert. So, I mean, if we can bring that joy, if someone has tickets, and all you have to do is show the ticket, and we will give you a free ticket to our show. So if we can, it's disappointing, right? The postponement of the residency was disappointing. And as far as it affects me, I just hope they can come, see, and enjoy, and, you know, enjoy it. It's just lighthearted. It's in honor of her and out of respect for her, what she's done in the music industry, and I hope I make her proud, and, yeah, come on down. Come see us.
Do you believe that this puts more pressure on you? Because, look, there are a lot of people, I believe, that have a very, very visceral, very emotional connection to Adele's music.
Absolutely.
And coming to Las Vegas, it's like an emotional pilgrimage. I don't think a lot of people make these connections, perhaps, but there is some music that is so powerful, that reaches so deeply into us, that these songs almost become like the soundtracks of our lives. And I can imagine that there are Adele fans who are like, I'm making that pilgrimage. I am making that pilgrimage to Las Vegas, to the source of this music that's become the soundtrack of my life, and now that's postponed. And I think originally it said, it was postponed due to COVID and some delays. I don't know exactly what took place there. That's a question mark. I think it's, remains to be completely understood and known. I hope everything works out for Adele. But here's the point. Now they're coming to see you. Does that put more pressure on you? Like, they're going to come see Adele. That's postponed. These people are making their pilgrimage. Now they're coming to us. Does that put more stress on you? Does that really give you cause for pause? Or do you just say, hey, I'm a performer. This is what I do. Here we go.
As an entertainer for over 20 years, it's definitely, I always said the moment you stop getting nervous is the day you should hang it up. So, of course.
That's what Sinatra said, by the way.
Yeah. Oh,
You're in good company.
Yeah, I mean, the day you stop getting nervous, the day you should hang it up. So a little bit of pressure, sure, but also with the professional, like being in the industry, and the love of the art and the love of the artist, being her. I'm just kind of taking it all in stride and doing 150% the best I can, and as are the other artists, Lisa McClowry as Cher and Elisa Fur as Celine and Tierney Allen as Gaga. These are women, amazing entertainers who have poured their hearts and souls into these characters. And it's a very special show. It's a very strong show, female empowerment, very, so of course, there is a little bit of nerves, but in the end, we're all just given 150%. So come on down and enjoy, right?
and I guess what your compatriots, as Cher and Gaga, say is, hey, if they could turn back time, they'd say, baby, I was born this way, no?
Hey, I love it.
No rim shot. Hey. Thank you very much. Tip your waiters generously. Try the veal. I'm here all week. I'm sure your family was extraordinarily proud of you, and I wish you continued success. And I think it's just so amazing. What you good folks at Legends do and all, it's just really remarkable, and I think it gives people the opportunity to, not everybody has the opportunity to go and see specific superstars and all, and at the same time it gives you the opportunity to flex your own artistic talents and your own artistic muscle.
Absolutely. You've said it. You just, boop, nailed it on the head.
There you go. We're on the nail it on the head business here on CYInterview. Chris?
You can see Janae Longo as Adele at Legendary Divas at the Tropicana Hotel and Casino on the Las Vegas Strip. So for Janae Longo, featured columnist Jay Bildstein, and CYInterview, I'm Chris Janae.